Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulihil Kareem amma ba'd. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Al Islam Production once again. As you know, we've been discussing this issue of fadak for quite a number of videos now, alhamdulillah, and we've cleared many different issues regarding this from different angles, and this is one more angle that I'd like to look at this video from, and that is this verse 26 of Surah Bani Israel. Now obviously I've mentioned the Shia interpretation, which is an interpretation of a very small minority of Shias, and I've mentioned also that the majority of Shia and their interpretation actually goes in favor of the Sunni stance and Abu Bakar Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. But just for argument's sake, for a moment, if we just take the interpretation and understanding of this verse 26 of this minority of a Shia, even then Fatima radiyallahu ta'ala anha, she still does not remain restricted to this verse. What is their understanding? Those Shia, the small minority of Shia, say that the words dhal qurba, that give due right to the relatives. They say that the word relatives, it refers to Fatima radiyallahu anha, and they say that the words due right, it refers to the orchard of Fadak. Now if we do take this, like I said, even then this instruction of giving the due right still does not remains restricted to Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha. Rather, this instruction of giving due right, it extends to the next words, which are the poor people, and the words after that, which are Ibn as-Sabil, the travelers. So the verse actually goes like this: give fadak to the relatives, i.e. according to their understanding, Fatima, and give it to the poor people, and also give the due right to the travelers. Now if we're to take this understanding, like I said, Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha does not stand alone in regards to the issue of fadak. Rather, she will have to share the orchard of fadak to the travelers and the poor people. Now there's only one problem that lies in, well, the many problems that I've mentioned, but there's also another problem which lies in this understanding, is that these two words, travelers and poor people, are very generic and they are very general words, and they include every single poor person and every single traveler in the world. So now to distribute this land to every poor person and every traveler in the world, in sections, then that is some asking, for the impossible. Which plot of land, which part of the land, and how much are you going to give to which traveler and which poor person in the world? There's millions and millions of travelers in the world. There's millions and millions of poor people in the world. How is it even possible to actually literally distribute the land in sections to these poor people? So the only way to actually distribute this land equally, fairly, and with justice is that this land, the crops that come from there, or the wealth, the vegetation, the fruit, whatever comes from that wealth, that land, what we do is we actually distribute that to the poor people. And if it's done in such a manner, then this will be done fairly, it will be done justly. That is the best way, it's the most appropriate way. Rather, I'd say it's actually the only way to distribute that land. If we were to distribute it to the poor people and the travelers and Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha. And if we look, brothers and sisters, this is exactly what Abu Bakar Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu did. That he would distribute the wealth from this place to Fatima, the family of Fatima, the Ahl Bayt. He would give to the travelers, he would give to the poor, he would give to the widows, he would give to the orphans. He would give and never ever take anything himself. So like I said, even if we take this interpretation, which is a minority of Shia, even then it falls into Abu Bakar radiallahu ta'ala anhu's favor, and it doesn't fall into Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha's favor. So like I said, we've got a consensus from the Ahlul Sunnah that this verse, it doesn't refer to Fadak, nor does it refer to Fatima. And like I said, there is a majority of Shia who are opining that it hasn't got anything to do with Fadak, it hasn't got anything to do with Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha. It's this small little minority who are doing it out of ta'assub and hatred for Abu Bakr. But like I said, even if we take their interpretation, it still goes in favor of Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, not in favor of Fatima, because there is no way to actually physically distribute the land. Rather, the only way that can be done is that we distribute the wealth and the produce of that land, and this is exactly what Abu Bakar Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala did. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand this issue of fadak, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to refrain from using such issues to tarnish the splendor and the image of who Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam have talked good about. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.